All right. I don't want to just sit here blasting music here that only I can hear. So I'll just talk and talk and talk. Headphones are a little challenged. Hello. Just doing sound checks. Hello. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you giving me your time and attention. Welcome to another episode of Keeping the Hill on the Horizon. As you may or may not know, I'm your host, Roy Nolan. Thank you, and thank you again. The holiday season is upon us. That is the reason that I wasn't able to do a broadcast last week. That was Thanksgiving. Figured I would give everyone a break from me and let them get to their families and eating. Hopefully, you didn't eat too much. And if you did, now you'll have an opportunity to work it off. Also on Monday, I was working and being here. I'm still in New York, in my apartment here in New York. I got a cold over Thanksgiving weekend, so I was giving myself a chance to heal, which is the reason I did not do a show this past Monday. I miss being with you. Hopefully, you guys all miss me. Thank you for tuning in. And now, let's get down to business. First of all, motivation, because we all need motivation. Thank you for having the motivation to tune in. You become what you believe. You become what you believe. So if you believe that you're not going to accomplish your goals, you're not going to lose weight, you're never going to be as healthy as you want to be, then you're right. If you believe that you can accomplish your goals, then you are right as well. So be right for the right reason. You become what you believe. Important. Another motivation, because this is the holiday season. Holiday season is kind of special for good reasons and bad reasons. People suffer more from depression at holiday time than any other time of the year. So we'll do a double dose of motivation today. And this quote is from Tony Robbins, well-known speaker and motivator. And he says, setting goals is the first step into turning the invisible visible. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. So, see what you want to be and set a goal to make it happen. Thank you, Tony Robbins. A little free Tony Robbins advice. Our shout outs, military shout out. And thank you. I see as I continue to talk, people are tuning in. Thank you. It's good to be back with you. I appreciate you for giving me your time and attention. I promise to make it worth your while. Getting back to our shout outs. Big shout out to James Salzman. Hit me up on Twitter. He is a Marine Corps and U.S. Army veteran. Thank you for your service. Thank you for hitting me up. I appreciate you. Glad you are tuning in and being a part of our audience here, keeping the hell on the horizon. We appreciate all our military viewers. We appreciate what you do for us to make it possible for us to live well. And we appreciate you finding ways to keep the hell on the horizon. If you in the military can find ways to accomplish your goals, to stay healthy, to keep wellness forefront in your minds, and you are encountering challenges that we civilians don't even know about, then our civilians don't have any excuse for not doing the same. So thank you, James Salzman, for tuning in, keeping the hell on the horizon, keeping us safe. Appreciate you. Amen. Additional shout outs. And these are just people who contact me on Twitter, contact me by mail. Let me know if they watch the show. They appreciate me. Appreciate the show here. And I'm just going to read a list. Abby Cornish, Danielle Pearl, Richie Edwards, and Martin Roots. All of them contacted me on Twitter. As you may know, the Twitter address for the show is @KeepingShow. @KeepingShow. And that's on Twitter. The email for this show is, I'm typing it. Here we go. Roy@kthOTH.com. If you want to email me, let me know that you view the show. You have suggestions for exercises that I can maybe lead people through, or recommendations for music that you want to hear played on the show while we do exercises. If you want to just shout us out, you can send an email. Be happy to give you a shout out as well. Or like I said, you can hit me up on the Twitter account for the show, which is @KeepingShow. That's on Twitter. And if you want to just hit me up on Twitter, my Twitter account is, I'm getting better at this typing thing, @RoyNolan. That's me on Twitter. Hit me up. Let me know that you watch the show. Let me know that you've seen some of the TV shows or movies or stand-up comedy that I do. Just let me know that you're out there. I like tuning in. I appreciate you for tuning in, giving me your time and attention. You all keep me motivated to exercise and to try to be my best. And I need that motivation as much as I'm sure some of you do. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. So we're going to move into the wellness segment of our show. And we're going to talk about holiday depression, because this is the holiday season. We are now past Thanksgiving, past Black Friday and Cyber Monday, all these shopping holidays. And holiday depression is a very real thing. It affects us. And Depression is one of the main reasons for making people unwell, unhealthy, and keeping them on the horizon is all about wellness, fitness, nutrition, aging well, and living better. So, if you want to age well and live better, you have to find intelligent, tried and true methods for combating depression, especially holiday depression when it is most acute. So, many of us, the older we live, we're going to have more and more reasons, unfortunately, to maybe be depressed. A lot of holiday depression is centered around financial obligations or lack of financial resources and many other things. My dad passed away 3 weeks before Thanksgiving, 5 years ago. So that made holidays a different time for my family. So we all have reasons that could be cause for holiday depression, and it's important to find ways to combat it. So one of the ways that we can combat holiday depression, and I'm going to read off my list here, and you can find this list on WebMD. As you know, I always try to find good resources for the things that I quote. WebMD is a pretty good resource. It's by no means an exhaustive resource, but it is pretty good, and you've probably heard news reports and other things of this. I don't think I'm going to talk about anything that's radical, new, or different, but it's good to hear, just in case you haven't heard it, maybe refresh it in your mind. Some of the ways to combat holiday depression: check in with family or friends. Now, for some of us, family and friends is the source of holiday depression. You know, I mean, sometimes dealing with family and friends is trying, to say the least. But check in, if family is a problem, find some friends that you haven't talked to in a little while. They might be suffering from a more depressed state than you, and they may need your just simple phone call. Might be enough to bring them out of their depression, and they might have something useful to help you bring you out of your depression. They may even have some advice that can help you turn your financial situation around, if it's financial or missing a loved one. They might have a story to share that you haven't heard before. So check in with family and friends around the holidays, especially people that you haven't talked to in a while. They'll probably be happy to hear from you, happy to know that you're thinking about them, and them being happy or you making them happy will be enough to pull you out of your holiday depression if that's something you're suffering from. Also, get rest, and we're going to talk a lot more about the importance of getting good quality sleep. But get rest during the holiday season. A lot of times, holiday season is a time when people do a lot of running around if they're doing the holiday shopping and all that stuff, and they don't get as much sleep as they need, or they just don't get rest. Because sometimes maybe you can't sleep, but if you can just sit down and not focus on things, not have your smartphone going, the tablet, the computer, just rest. No TV, just put some music on. Get rest. That is very important. That alone may be the cause of your depression. You could just be tired. Think about others. Volunteer. I always try to do some volunteering during the holiday season, even if it's something as simple as driving people around. People maybe have trouble. You see people, I know I have a couple of friends of mine who don't drive. So I'm always happy to drive them to the supermarket. Spend about a half hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour with them, shopping and taking them back home, have a little bit of conversation. Volunteer during the holiday season. You don't have to do the soup line thing. It's fun. I like doing it. I like to interact with people. Find some way to volunteer. Help people out who are less fortunate than you. And I know you've probably heard that a million times, but it is a way of pulling you out of your depression. Get money off your mind. Not an easy thing to do. Not easy to get money off your mind, because we need money. That's just a fact of life. But if you can find alternatives to constantly thinking about money, if that depresses you, please do it. Find a way. Find a way. And I mean, you need money just to tune into the show. I know that. You got to pay your cell phone bill. You got to pay your Wi-Fi bill. It's not easy. But if money is the thing that's depressing you, it is more important to find ways to rejigger your thinking, to find a new perspective on it. I know sometimes money is not something you always want to talk to other people about. Um, Lack of financial resources has become a source of shame in our society, although it shouldn't be, but it has. So some people are uncomfortable talking about other people with money or their lack of money or their need for money. But however you can find to take money off your mind, that is an important way to beat holiday depression. I mean, when you have bombarded with TV commercials about this cyber sale and that cyber sale, and you can't afford any of it, pretty hard to take money off your mind. But that means maybe you don't watch TV or watch um, movies or get on your tablet and watch shows and find ways to avoid commercials. Because commercials make us think about shopping, make us think about money, and that's not always helpful. Find ways. And I, I guess the way that I find to avoid thinking about money, because it's important to give a strategy, is I'll do something creative. I'll do something creative. I'll do some creative writing, write some poetry, write some jokes, write a story, or mainly I'll get on the phone with my mom, who has a million stories. My mom is my favorite comedian, by the way. And we'll start talking, and my mom will tell me something about some family member I didn't know about, and I don't even think about money. So it's important to reconnect with family members, get money off your mind, get plenty of rest during the holiday season, which is surprisingly something that people don't do. And eating well. The holiday season is a time when people gorge. I avoided gorging this holiday season because, first of all, I had a cold, so I didn't have much of an appetite, and I ate just enough. You don't want to eat until you feel full. You want to eat until you're no longer hungry. But that means planning your meals. So I ate breakfast, and I never eat a large breakfast. I'll have oatmeal, and I'll have yogurt. About a couple hours later, well, I'll have oatmeal, and then a couple hours later, I'll have a snack, granola bar or something. And I believe yes, I did. I even had lunch before Thanksgiving dinner. So plan your meals. Planning your meals is a better way than just trying to diet. When you start planning your meals and you recognize how much you eat and how much you need to feel satisfied rather than full, that'll help you stick to a nutrition plan rather than trying to go on a crash diet to lose weight. Plan your meals. This is what time I wake up. This is when I have breakfast. I can have a snack an hour and a half or 2 hours after breakfast, because if you eat enough to not feel hungry rather than feel full, you'll probably feel hungry again about 2 hours later based on your metabolism and what you eat and the quantity of food that you eat. And you eat a snack 2 hours after your breakfast. That should, if it's a significant snack and your body has grown accustomed to it, lead you into waiting another 2 hours, especially if you work during the day, to eat lunch. And if you plan meal, snack, meal, snack, meal, and you plan out what you're going to eat and when you're going to eat it, much easier to stick to a routine that's going to be healthy for you, rather than just boom trying to go on a plate. And I'm not going to eat this stuff, but I am going to eat that stuff, because then you get cravings and all that stuff. Eat what you normally eat. Plan better how you eat. All right, and now we're going to go into sleep. So I'm going to have 5 out of 10 strategies for getting better quality sleep. And the first one, and I wonder if mattress manufacturers put this in, it's have the right mattress and pillow. But that's important, because if you don't sleep on a good surface, a surface that you feel comfortable, if you're waking up and your back pains, shoulder pains, knee pains, all that stuff, then you're not going to get quality sleep, because you're going to toss and turn throughout the night and you never get that deep REM sleep, which restores our bodies. So having the right mattress, and again, that might put you into a financial depression. So if that's happening, don't do that. Sleep on the mattress you are. Maybe get a mattress pillow top, which is less expensive than buying a whole mattress. Or, I remember my parents used to do it. They would put a board underneath our mattress when we were kids, because we were like 8, 9 years old. You're not going to buy a new mattress for your 8, 9-year-old kids. Turn our mattress over, put a board under there, boom, it's nice and stiff again, and we're sleeping on a good mattress. Especially me, when I was a kid, I had back problems because, as I mentioned in earlier shows, I had scoliosis and I had scoliosis corrected. So when I started hitting growth spurts around the age of 12 and then 14, I would suffer from back trouble and not know that it was scoliosis. I didn't know until much later in life that scoliosis was an issue. So I say all that to say, when you lie down on your mattress, you should be able to determine if you feel comfortable. And if you don't feel comfortable, figure out what you can do about it within your budget to make your mattress comfortable. For me, I can't sleep with a pillow under my head because I'll get a stiff neck. It has to be under my back and neck. It can't be under my head. That puts my body in the wrong alignment. So consider all these things. How do you feel when you wake up? Do you sleep throughout the night or do you wake up constantly? Do whatever it takes to sleep on a surface that makes your body comfortable so that you can get good quality restorative sleep. Have the right mattress and the right pillow, or no pillow. And it was uncomfortable for me to start sleeping without a pillow because I used to be able to sleep with a pillow before I grew to my full height and weight. When I was a kid, I always slept with a pillow. But as I got older, and especially after I got surgery, sleeping with a pillow under my head always gave me a stiff neck. So I had to learn how to sleep without a pillow. So consider how you feel when you lie down on your mattress with your pillow. If you sleep on your side, and you may have heard this before, but I'll say it again, sleeping with a pillow between your knees, if you sleep on your side, sleeping with a pillow between your knees takes the pressure off of your lower back, and you'll get a better sleep. You'll sleep more comfortably. Try it. It may not work for everyone, but it works for a lot of people. I don't sleep on my side. I have to sleep on my back. Next, in an effort to get a good quality restorative sleep, is a recommendation that you get up and get out when you wake up in the morning. They recommend that you get out of the house under some sunlight, depending on the hours you sleep. If you sleep at night, wake up in the morning. Some people, I know I worked nights for years where I would sleep during the daytime and wake up at night to go to work. But you're talking about people who sleep at night and go to work or do some kind of activity during the day. When you wake up and get out of the house. Getting under sunlight during the daytime is one of the cues our body uses that now we're awake and we need to be up. So they recommend getting up, getting out, going for a walk of about a half hour or so. And that will help us get better sleep during the nighttime, because that change from sunlight to night is one of the cues that our brain uses to tell us, all right, we got to get sleep. And then we get a better quality sleep. When our brain is in agreement, when our brain is telling us, hey, this is one of the routines that we need to tell us to shut down, then your body follows. So you wake up in the morning, get up, get out. Do some kind. You don't have to go running. I run. You don't have to run. Go for a walk. A half hour before you do the rest of the routines that you do during the day, even before breakfast. If I get up, I get out, I stretch, go running, then I come back and eat breakfast. And that does a lot of different things. It gets my body charged. It puts me, first of all, in a routine. Then all the other functions of my body flow from the start of my routine. So although I eat breakfast, I don't eat as much because something about exercise makes me not as hungry. Some people it makes real hungry. If I lift weights, then I'm real hungry. If I do some cardio, I'm not as hungry. I'll eat, but I can eat and not have to eat until I'm full. So get up, get out before the start of your day. That will help you get a more quality sleep at night. One of the other recommendations is to avoid late day caffeine. Now, this is, again, nothing radical, but avoid drinking coffee late in the day. Some people have coffee if they work in an office or something. They'll have coffee around 4 o'clock, 3 or 4 o'clock. Try to avoid that. Have something with less caffeine or no caffeine. No caffeine is absolutely best. Even soda has caffeine. I'll have soda with dinner. I used to have soda all the time. avoid caffeine. The less caffeine you have late in the day, the better your sleep you'll get at night. It's obvious, but it's worth saying as many times as possible. Increase your intake of tryptophan. As you know, tryptophan is, I want to say this correctly. I don't want to just be spouting off. I was going to say chemical. Tryptophan is a nutrient. There we go. Found in turkey, in peanut butter, and bananas, and some other foods. But in turkey, it is most notable source for tryptophan. It converts in our bodies to serotonin, and serotonin is what triggers our brains that it is now time to go to sleep. So if you increase your intake of tryptophan throughout the day, you'll get a better quality sleep at night. And one of the recommendations they have, and it's actually pretty good, is a healthy snack is to smear about a tablespoon of peanut butter onto a banana. And again, some people don't like bananas. I happen to like bananas. Smear of peanut butter on a banana, that's a healthy snack that you can have later in the day, or maybe if you're still hungry after dinner. And that increase of tryptophan will help you get a better restorative sleep at night. Another thing, which is actually really interesting, and I had heard this, but I hadn't heard it as completely as I did in this article. And this article, by the way, you can find in bestlifeonline.com, BESTLIFEONILN. I should just type it out. That would be more helpful, I think. But this article on how to get a better sleep can be found in Best Life. I'm typing, so you know. I already told you I got kicked out of typing in 8th grade. So me typing is kind of a challenge sometimes. There we go. bestlifeonline.com is the website where I have this article. The title of the article is, come on, play along, computer. Title of the article is 10 tips. Hold on a moment. 10 tips for your best sleep ever. 10 tips for your best sleep ever. You can find on bestlifeonline.com. 10 tips for your best sleep ever. And number 6 is, come on, my computer is a little slow. I apologize as I scroll down because I want to read directly from the article, because this is a fact that I heard briefly but didn't hear in detail, and I heard it a little bit more detail here. It says, according to research by the National Academy of Sciences, the blue light emitted from electronic devices like your computer, iPad, or LED television can impair the production of the sleep hormone melatonin, and that negatively affects your sleep quality. So if you're in the habit of binge watching shows, like I like to binge watch some shows. If you're in the habit of binge watching shows, avoid doing it before bedtime, because the blue light that's emitted from your TV or your iPad or your LED television can impair your ability to get a quality sleep. Better to binge watch that maybe 3 hours before you go to bed, because an hour before you go to bed, it's a good habit to create a sleep routine. And I'm going to get into that now. But once again, that was important information that I had not heard. If you're in a habit, like I was in the habit of falling asleep with the TV on, that's a habit maybe you want to kick if you have an LED television or one of these televisions that emits blue light, because it affects the ability of your body to produce melatonin. So maybe fall asleep with music playing from a streaming app that dims, like my cell phone dims. So although it's on, it dims, but the music still plays. I consider music. Fall asleep to music, you'll probably get a better sleep because you won't feel obligated to focus on a screen. Okay, let's move on to number 7, which I started to talk about. Create a sleep routine. Create a sleep routine, or a habit. an hour before you go to bed. So that means like they recommend keeping a sleep journal. And I know a lot of people don't like writing. People just don't like doing it. They don't think they have anything to say. I know I discussed that with some of the authors that we talked about, and authors who are already motivated to write, they have a little easier time doing things like writing or keeping a journal. But this article on bestlifeonline.com recommends keeping a sleep journal, like how many hours you slept during the night, what times during the day you felt most rested or felt tired. And when you keep a sleep journal, you'll be able to look over time and say, oh, I slept 6 hours, but around 1 p.m. I started feeling sleepy. Maybe I should try to sleep for 7 hours, or maybe I could change my sleep routine. So that's what they recommend, but they recommend starting a routine before bed, an hour before bed. So it's like turn off electronic devices, start making your room dark, maybe read, avoid eating, of course, an hour before you go to bed. Do things that is going to put your mind in a routine frame that says, all right, this is the things I do before bed. Because the more routines you create, your brain logs this routine in and goes, okay, this is what we're going to do next. So routines can be tedious, but they also are important for programming our brain to how we want our body to behave. Routines. So create a sleep routine. It's not less eating, less electronic devices, more calming influences, things that require us to pay less attention. That's why listening to music is good, because it's passive. It doesn't require us to focus our eyes on something. We can just listen and imagine. Reading is a very good activity to do prior to bed. And I think not enough people read. But read a book. Don't read from an iPad or other device, because again, which affects sleep. Read a book. Read from a newspaper. Read from a magazine. And I'll move on to number 8, which is really good, and it just shows that our parents were brilliant. And it suggests take a hot shower before you go to bed. Make that one of your sleep routines. And this is the reason. It says that back when we were cave-dwelling people, human beings that is, the change in temperature from sunlight to nighttime was one of the cues that our brains used that it was time for bed, the change in temperature. So by taking a shower, you create that same temperature difference from the warm shower to being out of the shower that your brain can use as a cue that now it's time for bed. So they recommend taking a hot shower before bedtime in order to help our brains build that sleep routine in and help us get a better restorative sleep. And it shows that our parents were brilliant, because many of us, I know my parents did, especially when I was a little kid, because they would make us take a bath before we go to bed. And after that bath, all of a sudden, kids start getting sleepy. You don't know why. It's like, and you're out. Temperature difference signals our brain that, hey, it's hot, and now it's cooler. It's time for bed. So you want to build in good routines that are going to help your body do the things that are going to keep us healthy. So hot shower before bed, good thing. Here we go. Another cue for helping us get a better restorative sleep. The darker the room you sleep in, the better. There's no such thing as too dark when it comes to sleep. So they recommend that's why I recommend, no TVs, no iPads or other, tablet devices for reading. The less light right before you go to bed, the better. If you got to sleep with a mask on, do that. Blackout curtains in your room. Whatever it takes to make your sleeping space as dark as possible, because darkness is a signal to our brain that it's time to go to sleep. So, hot shower, less TV and other devices, dark room, less activities that require us to focus our attention, helps us get a better restorative sleep. And I'm going to skip ahead to number 10 because it is pretty good. Let's see. Hope I'm not boring you all, but getting good restorative sleep is one of the things that people most overlook, and it really keeps you healthy. It makes your skin better because our bodies can restore. Skin cells are always replacing themselves. Moisture in our skin is, the more moisture we have in our skin, the fewer wrinkles we have. But all those things come from getting a good restorative sleep. That's our body's control, alt, delete, reset, sleep. So that's a good way of thinking about sleep. It's the control, alt, delete, reset. It's the hard reboot that we need every 24 hours so that we can have a better day tomorrow. And it says nothing is more frustrating than looking at the clock. This is tip number 10. So if you can just take your mind off of, oh man, I'm not getting enough sleep, and just do the things, build a sleep routine that works for you, you will get enough sleep. I've been there where you're tired but you're not sleepy, and that's very frustrating. I used to have a safety sensitive job where I operated a train, so I was mandated by law to get enough sleep. They didn't tell you how many hours of sleep, but I had to get enough sleep in order to do my job. And sometimes I didn't get enough sleep. And you're not, by law, you are not supposed to go to work knowing that you didn't get enough sleep. So I had to build sleep routines so that I could do my job, because they did not want you to come to work without enough rest. And by law, they couldn't tell you how to get sleep because they didn't want to be and this was working for the New York City subway, they didn't want to be responsible for people taking sleeping pills and stuff like that. So they didn't tell you that you had to get 6 hours of sleep, but they told you that you could not come to work if you didn't get enough rest. So they made it your responsibility to get enough rest. And now, if you want to keep the hill on the horizon, you want to do the things without having mandate of law. You want to do the things that you know are good for you. And one of those things is to get enough sleep. Some people, they say, the older you get, the less sleep you need. Don't believe that. Most human bodies, you want at least 6 hours of sleep. So they say 8 hours is ideal. Sometimes I sleep 8 hours. Usually if I sleep 6 hours, I can do everything I need. So I'm not going to tell people how much sleep they should get. Get quality sleep for you. If you wake up and during the course of your day, whatever you're doing, you feel tired, you're not getting enough sleep. So build a sleep routine. That means less caffeine later in the day, usually after 4 p.m. if you sleep during the night. If you sleep between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., avoid caffeine around 4 p.m. That means not just coffee, but also caffeine and soda and other soft drinks. Build a sleep routine an hour before. No TV, tablet, cell phone, web surfing, none of that. So if you have to go to sleep in an hour, turn this show off right now. Hot shower or bath as part of your sleep routine, because that temperature change is one of the cues that our body uses. That boom, we got to get to sleep. Dark. The darker your sleeping area, the better. Because again, darkness is one of the cues that our brain uses that we have to go to bed. So there we go, my wellness lecture for the day. Get better sleep and avoid holiday depression. Now, wow, and thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you for giving me your time and attention during this very busy holiday season. I know it's not easy to do. I hope I'm giving you information and advice that you can use and that you do use it. I appreciate you. All right, now we're going to go into our stretch like we do all the time if you've tuned in before. And once again, my name is Roy Nolan, and this is Keeping the Hill on the Horizon, and I hope to help you all keep the hill on the horizon. You've all heard the phrase being over the hill, where someone or something has outlived its usefulness and it is now beyond its point of usefulness. We never want to be over the hill. We want to keep the hill on the horizon. We all want to continue aging I know I want to be as old as I can, but we want to keep the hill on the horizon in front of us, something that we're always working towards, but we don't want to be beyond that. So that's the idea for keeping the hill on the horizon. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you all. We're going to go into our stretch. And as you know, we do static stretching. I'm with music on. I got my big screen TV here. Hopefully you can hear the music. Put on music that you enjoy. I have some EDM here on the Music Choice app. I'm not particularly liking this song, but it's good to stretch to some music. I know usually what I'll do is our cardio countdown, but we're going to stretch first. And if they play a song that's interesting to me, I'm going to dance a little bit. I want you all to join me, tune in, dance a little bit. If you don't like the music that's being played here, put your own music on, dance for 30 seconds. We're going to go into some basic exercises. So, I got to adjust the mic. No. That weird noise was the sound of the stand. You adjusted the mic. I don't know if you want to see it. Don't want it to be distracting. So, as you know, we always start at the top and work our way down. Start at my neck. We also started our necks. And we're going to stretch our torso, our backs, our arms, and then our quadriceps, which is the muscles in our thighs. We're going to stretch our hamstrings out, our calves, our groin. And after we complete that stretch, we're going to do a cardio countdown, which is just any kind of little dancing for about 30 seconds. And then we're going to go into just some basic exercise. We're going to work on our core today. I had the opportunity to meet with Adonis Williams, who is my personal trainer since he's here in New York. And he showed me some core exercises to do and made me do them that we're all going to attempt to do at home. And, you know, the majority of exercises that we do here on Keeping It on the Horizon are exercises that we don't need to go to a gym to do, and we don't need equipment for. So, without further ado, I did enough talking. I'm going to adjust this just a bit. Our camera. There we go. And we're going to start stretching our necks out. And we're just going to tilt our head to the right. Stretch out this muscle. Our traps here in our neck. We're going to stretch. So what you do is you bend your head to the side as much as you can. If you feel pain, stop. Do it nice and slowly. And you're going to try to touch your ear to your shoulder. You don't want to pull. That's not why I put my hand here. I put my hand here just for form, so that I can really make sure that I'm stretching out the trap muscle on my neck. But I don't pull. You don't want to pull. You don't want to strain your muscles. You want to stretch them. Let them know that you're about to do some work. And we're going to hold this for about 15 seconds. There we go. And what you do to one side, you must do to the other. So we're stretching out muscles here. And again, you're not pulling. Feet flat on the floor, about a shoulder width apart. We call medium position. Our head resting comfortably at our side. And we're just stretching. This is static stretching. It's not holistic stretching. It's static stretching where we just let the muscles go. We're going to do some work. We want to make the blood flow. We want to get our tendons and ligaments into a position where they're being stretched, but not violently stretched, so they can be prepared for the exercise we're going to do. There we go. That's about 15 seconds. All right. And now we're going to do some neck rolls. So we're going to start, again, feet shoulder width apart, hands at our side, shoulders even as we can. We're going to let our head drop down slowly. Nice drop down. We're going to roll to the side. We're going to roll to the other side. And that's 1 and then 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Neck rolls. Get it feeling kind of nice and loose up there on next. And now we're going to do some shoulder rolls. And shoulder rolls, I'm going to stand sideways so you can see what it looks like. You just roll your shoulders back. Feet flat on the floor, shoulders apart, hands comfortably at our sides, shoulders even, back straight. And we're going to do 5 more. And you just do the shoulders to loosen the rotator cuff. And then we're going to go forward with it. There we go. All right, now we're going to do our torso stretch. If you've tuned into the show before, you know I do this all the time, static stretching. Feet a little bit more than shoulder width apart, toes pointed outward. For stability, because now we're going to be moving to the sides. We don't want to fall over, we want to stretch. So we're going to stretch our right side of our torso. Put your hands straight up, left hand at the side at your thigh, and you're going to bend slightly to your left as much as you comfortably can, and you'll feel that stretch here in your torso. You'll feel some gathering here at your hip. And you're going to hold it and breathe. When I say hold it, I mean hold the stretch, not hold your breath. Never hold your breath when you're exercising. That's true for stretching and during the exercise. You want to breathe in and out as much as possible. Always give your blood oxygen so that you can do the stretch. It helps your muscles. There you go. Now, put both hands up. And this is this form. Again, feet flat on the floor, toes pointed slightly outward, back straight, shoulders straight. We're going to drop our right hand down to our side. We're going to stretch our left. There you go. 15 seconds. Torso stretch. And if you want to know what song this is, it's Find a Way. It's by Dirty South and Rudy. I'm being DJ Roy as well. Why not? This is music choice. Now we're going to stretch out our back. And the stretch in our back is a stretch that really feels good when you do it the right way. Because it's an area, we use our back muscles for our stability, just walking and standing and all those things. But most people don't stretch out your back muscles. So our muscles are never prepared. And that's why people have back pain. So if you stretch out the muscles in your back, the latissimus dorsi, the huge muscle in our back, it feels really good because we often don't stretch it just in the normal course of our day. And you'll be better prepared. Great stretch to do right at the start of your day. So we do that by, again, feet shoulder width apart. Toes pointed slightly out for stability. I bend at my knees so I can take the pressure off my lower back. And arms out in front of us, shoulder height. And then we just bring our hands together. Bring our hands together. You can do this or make a diamond shape. If that's not enough of a stretch for you, if you want to get more of a stretch, you can put your hands past each other. And what you'll feel is the muscles in your back moving apart from each other. And you'll feel it down the center of your back as well. So we're going to do that stretch and we're going to hold it again for 15 seconds. So hands up. That's it. And if you want to increase the stretch even more, you can suck in your gut and hold in your ab muscles while you do the stretch. And you really feel it's a really good stretch to do. Now we're going to stretch out our arms, the muscles in our triceps, biceps, and our deltoids. And we accomplish that by putting our arm, let's start with the right arm, across our body, and we use the other hand behind our elbow, and we push in that direction. And you'll feel this stretch. You'll feel your triceps start to stretch. You feel a little bit in your biceps, you feel it maybe a little bit in your pecs, depending on how much you push your pecs out, and maybe a little bit in the deltoids, the muscles on the side of our shoulder. This is our good, and we're gonna, again, bend at the knees and take the pressure off our lower back. We never want to put undue pressure on our lower back, because this is a very important muscle for our core. It supports our body. So we want to not put pressure on it unnecessarily. That's the reason we bend at the knees. So again, arm up across our body. Our hand, you don't have to do a fist. I do a fist behind the elbow and push in that direction. Only 15 seconds. Then breathe. Breathing all the time in and out. Okay. And then we're going to make a V, upside down V with our arm. And we're going to grab again at the elbow and pull up. And that's to just complete the stretch. You can put your head forward to get your arm, get it out of the way of your arm. And that's so that we can further stretch our triceps and some of our biceps. Tricep is a 3-section muscle, so we want to make sure that we stretch all sections of the muscle. Okay, let's do the other arm. Again, arm up, left arm up across our body. Hand behind the elbow, push in that direction. Okay, now upside down V. Grab the elbow. All right, there we go. That completes our upper body stretch. And you just, you just kind of hug yourself. And it's just to get our blood flowing, get our blood circulating. This is a sort of a bit of a this is also a stretch. This is more of a ballistic stretch. Ballistic stretches, you're moving while you're doing the stretch. Static stretches, you're just kind of holding a pose, but stretching the muscle. That's just to get me sort of into it. Now we're going to stretch our lower body. So find a stable base of support. You can use a wall, use a chair without wheels, a table. Find a stable base of support, and then raise your leg to the point where you touch your glutes, you touch your butt with your heel. You don't want to arch your back, because that's going to be bad for your back. You grab the toes of your foot that's raised behind you, and you pull up on the toes. And you'll feel the stretch in your quadriceps. That's the muscles in our thigh. Okay. Once you do one side, once you do the other. Feet up, grab the toes, pull up, get back straight, shoulders straight. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Now we're going to do a groin stretch. Put your left leg out in front of you, facing forward. Right leg behind you, and you're going to stretch as much as you comfortably can. If you feel pain, stop. Come up a little bit. That's too much of a stretch for you. If you don't feel pain, keep going. If you feel tightness, which you know the difference between pain and tightness. Tightness is the point where it's like, oh, that stops. Well, that's feeling a little like really taut. Then you find the point where you can stretch. And your right leg is going to go behind you, your foot at a 90-degree angle to your left foot in front of you. Hands on the thighs for stability, for support. And we're gonna hold this and breathing all the time. In, out. We're gonna hold it for 15 seconds. Hold the pose, not your breath. All right, come on up. Right foot in front of us, facing straight. Left foot behind us, 90-degree angle. Hands on our leg in front. And we're gonna hold that 15 seconds. Don't hold your breath, hold the pose. All right, there we go. So that's a pretty good stretch. Now we're gonna do what they call known as a runner's stretch, where we stretch the hamstrings out. Put one foot in front of you, find a wall. This is very good done with a wall, find a wall. Hand on the wall, one foot in front of us, the other foot behind us. How much is dependent on how comfortable you are stretching. If you feel pain, stop. Bring it in a little bit. I know my point of fitness is about here, and that determines how far your feet are apart. If you feel pain, it's too much. If you feel tightness, that's the point where you want to stretch. And I'm going to lean forward. You move all of your body weight away from your leg, and that stretches your hamstring. Okay, what you do to one leg, you must do to the other. You got it. I got no money. I don't mind the fancy play to get me high. No diamonds. Now that we've done that, we're going to do a little bit more of our ballistic stretching. And this is straight from Adonis Williams, my trainer, our fitness programmer of the show. Feet shoulder width apart, toes pointed out, hands on our sides. And we're going to do toe touches. We're going to do toe touches and reaches. This is a little more of a cardio exercise, but it's also still a stretch, because we're going to stretch our hamstrings out. You also feel a little bit in your calves. And if you can do this without bending your knees, great. If you got to bend your knees, go for it. Again, you don't want to feel pain. You do want to get through the exercise. We're going to do 10 of them. So we're going to touch our toes, come up, and reach for the sky as much as you can. All right? Now we're going to get started. Hands on our sides, shoulder apart, toes pointed out. And if you're ready, I'm ready. We're going to stretch to the music. Why not? This is Bassy. Nothing to lose. You ready? Count it down. 3, 2, 1. Toe touch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. If you did that with me, thank you for keeping me fit. I appreciate you. I appreciate you all for tuning in, giving me your time and attention. All right. Now we're going to do these core exercises that Adonis showed me the other day. All we need is a stable chair to do it. And we're going to exercise our abs, our core. And these are challenging. And he was standing right next to me, so I couldn't even cheat. But I'll demonstrate the exercise so we all can see it. We're going to start by keeping our feet tucked in like this. We're going to bring our knees up. Hands at our sides. We're going to bring our knees up. This is not that hard to do. And a good tip for breathing is to breathe on the most challenging part of the exercise. Breathe out. Breathe in and out on the most challenging part of the exercise. So on this, bringing your knees in, force the air out, because that also flattens your torso. That'll be easier to do. So, and this is continuous exercise, but I'm demonstrating. After we do this, 10 of these, we're going to do with our feet out in front of us. Bringing our knees up again, hands at our sides. So you want to get a nice stable base of support. A chair, a table. Not as easy to do on a sofa because for the first one, it's better if your feet can go underneath whatever you're stabilizing yourself on. This is great on a workout bench if you have that. So the next one, feet above the floor. Feet are not touching the floor. And the balance, you want to keep your back straight. You don't want to use a chair with a back because keeping what you keep your back straight is your abs, your core, a little bit of your lower back muscle also. This is one of those places where you put pressure on your lower back, but it's to exercise you. Make your muscles more toned so they can support your body. So hands, feet in front of us, hands at our sides, and we're going to bring our knees up. And then the next one, these are all challenging, but you increase in level of intensity as we go. So the next one, a challenge for me too, feet up, not touching the floor. We don't touch the floor at all. You try to keep your back straight. Keep your chest up. Chest up, that's important. That's how you're sure that you're hitting you're targeting your abs and you're not using your back unduly for the exercise by keeping your chest up. Body positioning is important. And we're going to bring our feet up. Instead of our knees, we're going to bring our feet up. And this is for the lower abs. So we're targeting upper, mid, and lower abs in these core exercises. And we're going to do 10 of them. Are you ready? Let's do it. And that was pretty sloppy. If it down was 10, you would probably have me do 10 more. Because the idea is you want to keep yourself as stable as possible when you do it. But I don't know everyone's level of fitness. So if you're a beginner, if you haven't exercised in a while, this is for you. Just getting out, doing it, developing a routine. I got to go and do these. It will help you. And the thing about any kind of crunch or exercise is the more you do it, the more you'll be able to do later on. So if you can only do 1, 2, don't worry about it. Do 2 today, do 3 tomorrow, do 4 the next day. And the idea is building that routine, because the routine is what helps us get through the exercise. And next month, you'll be instructing me on exercises. So the last exercise, it's a 4 exercise core workout. The last one is, I've seen these called I think they were called kettlebell. I think it was kettlebell crunches or kettlebell rows. Anyway, the idea is that we exercise our obliques because the muscles in our core, the main muscles in our core, or forward muscles, is our top abductor muscles, mid, lower, and then the obliques, which are on the sides. All of those muscles are the muscles that make up our core, our torso, and they stabilize us as we sit, as we walk, as we stand. So if you want to have those muscles toned, you'll have a better posture. Better posture improves your circulatory system, or the blood flow throughout your body. Better blood flow prevents things like diabetes, like clogged arteries, like oh man, you name it. You know, it'd be better if I have a doctor come on and tell you all the things that proper posture and circulatory working system improve your life. So the last one, now I'll stop stalling and do the exercise. Feet off the floor, chest up, and we're gonna do 20 seconds. And what we're doing is we're just making we're coupling our fists together, our hands together, and we're going from side to side. Feet off the floor. Our feet remain off the floor. And we're going to count backwards from 20 seconds. It's a challenge for me too. I hope you're doing it along with me. All right, so chest up. All right, you flex chest up to make sure that our back is as straight as we can make it. And we're gonna start that right now. 19, 18, 17. 15 seconds. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that should exhaust me a little. Challenging exercise. Thank you all. Wow, I can't believe so many of you tuned in. Holiday season. Thank you. I appreciate you for giving me your time and attention. We're going to do another set of those core exercises. And I'll demonstrate from this chair because it's a little higher. First one is feet underneath, knees up. We'll do 10 of those. Then feet out in front of us, knees up. Then feet out, feet up, not knees up, feet up. And then the last one, feet not touching the floor, chest up. And this chair obviously is not good because it's pivots and it rolls, and I'll be all over the place. That'd be a whole different show. That'd be a stunt show. So we're gonna rest for a little bit. I just want to go over while we're resting. We're gonna go over the things I talked about: avoiding holiday depression, get in touch with family and friends that you haven't talked to maybe all year or since last year or maybe longer. The way of beating holiday depression. Get rest. And we talked about all the ideas for getting better sleep. Volunteer, a good way to avoid holiday depression. Help those less fortunate than yourself. Helps to put your situation in perspective. Get money off your mind if you can. Find a way. And focus on planning your meals. Holiday season is when people eat the worst. But if you can plan your meals, this is when I wake up, this is what I do when I wake up. This is going to be the breakfast I eat. This is going to be a snack I have between breakfast and lunch. This is when I'm going to eat lunch. This is a snack I have after lunch, usually a couple hours. That's how I do it. And then this is when I'm going to have dinner. Just plan it out. You know, I would wake up, or the night before, I'd make my lunch for the day, for the following day. Now I wake up, do my stretching, do my running, whatever exercise, have a small breakfast, get to work, have a snack 2 hours after I eat breakfast. I would usually have lunch 2 hours after that, have a snack 2 hours after lunch, and then I would go and I hit the gym. And after that, I'd be really hungry. And boom, I go and I eat dinner, lower carbs during dinner. And that's just for me, that's not for everyone. And then I do whatever I'm doing during the course of the evening. An hour before, I start my sleep routine. Darker area, no TV, tablet, cell phone, all those things that emit blue light. Oh, you know what? I should not be competing against. Hello. Come on, big TV. I tried to put the sound down, but I gotta mute it. Sorry if you enjoyed that song. Sleep routine, very important. Darker room, hot shower before, and about an hour before bed. Avoid things that emit blue light. Again, study by the National Academy of Sciences found that items that emit blue light, like a computer screen, tablet screen, LED television, those things emit blue light. And the study found that that blue light reduces our body's ability to produce melatonin. Melatonin we need to sleep. So if you avoid those things about an hour before bedtime. You'll have an easier time falling asleep and getting a quality sleep throughout your sleep session, because not all people sleep at night. Dark room, the darker the better. If you're used to falling asleep with the TV on, switch that out and put music on. Or maybe, here's an idea. This is what I used to do when I was a kid. My mom got me one of those clock radios that also can get television stations. And when I was a kid, we weren't allowed to have a TV in our room. I know that's not true nowadays, but I would listen to Star Trek on my radio. And maybe you listen to a program that you don't have to watch, and that's a way of falling asleep. So it also made me a bigger fan of Star Trek because I wasn't seeing what was going on. I had to imagine it. So do things that are going to create a routine, a sleep routine, that's going to signal your brain, hey, this is what I do before I go to bed, so that your brain can get the signal that, hey, it's time to go to bed, and your body starts to feel sleepy because your body follows what your brain tells it, and you will get a better restorative sleep. All right, now we're going to get back into one more circuit of our core workout. I hope you're following along with me. This is a good workout. You don't need equipment to do it. All you need is a stable piece of furniture, like a chair, a bench. Sofa's not so good unless you can put your feet underneath it for that first exercise. But join in with me. I think we all know what the exercise is. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me doing it. Are you ready? I'm ready. So we're going to start with feet underneath, knees up to our chest. We're going to do 10 of them. And we're going to push our chest out because that helps us keep our back straight. And we're just going to do it. I'm going to just call them out and we're going to change. We're going to do 10 of them. Are you ready? Start with an inhale. Exhale when you put your knees up. Let's go. Let's do it with the music. Feet out, knees up. Feet out, feet up. And now, feet out, hands clasped, side to side. We're going to do 20 seconds, count down. You ready? Let's go, inhale, and exhale and inhale each side. It'll probably help you get through it. All right. Woo. Whew. If you want to know what that music is, it's Matoma and Becky Hill. The name of the song is False Alarm. Whew. All right, so we did a little bit of core exercise. We did some stretching. We got some ideas on beating holiday depression, getting better sleep, which is always valuable, holidays or not. And hopefully this will help you keep the hill on the horizon. Once again, my name is Roy Nolan. I'm the host of Keeping the Hill on the Horizon. I thank you all for tuning in, giving me your time and attention during this busy holiday season. We have a packed show for you coming Monday. I was able to do an interview with Adonis, which I will have ready for everyone on Monday. I'm also planning to meet with Melina, who is a Pilates instructor that we met in our first episode, who instructed me on Pilates. I'm going to have a session that's going to be on an upcoming show. And I'll meet with Jelani, who does a dance fitness program. And I'm going to speak with him later today. and I'm really looking forward to recording a class of what he does. Dance fitness, it's incredible. So those are all the things that we can look forward to if you continue to tune in to Keeping Hill on the Horizon. If you want to shout out the show on Twitter, that address is, give me a second while I get my 8th grade typing skills in effect here. Oh, come on. There we go. Boom. Keeping Show, at Keeping Show. If you want to shout us out on Twitter, that's where you'll find the webpage or the Twitter account for the show, at Keeping Show. If you want to shout me out on Twitter individually, that is at Roy Nolan, your host, sweating here. Hope you all tuned in. You all join me to sweat along with me during this holiday season. You know, that's the time when, if you can exercise during the holiday season while all the crazy eating is going on, you'll be much better prepared to exercise after the holiday season. So hit me on Twitter, either the show account or my account on Twitter. Let me know that you watch the show. Let me know you enjoy it. Let me know if you have tips, suggestions for exercises, music, anything having to do with wellness. If you want to tune into the show, or you want to call into the show, or you want to be a guest of the show, hit me up. Let me know. I'm always willing to hear people. I appreciate you all so much. This is huge. I know there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of things that you can view on the internet. If you come and view me, this keeps me motivated. So thank you for keeping me motivated. Hopefully I motivated you a little bit as well. I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I'm going to say good afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good weekend. Wake up tomorrow morning, stretch, dance a little bit, do some kind of exercise. Start your sleep routine today. Don't put it off. Plan your meals for tomorrow. Don't put it off. The more planning we do, the easier it is to stick to a routine. And the more healthy routines we have, the more it'll help us age well, live better, and keep the hill on the horizon. I appreciate you all so much. Take care, and thank you once again for tuning in. So long.